Hi everybody, it's Nico from Concept 3D, and we're going to be going over the Pro Arm leveling procedure, the manual leveling procedure. For this, we will need to have a piece of paper and the 3mm hex key. As well, check to make sure the LCD is clean, there's no debris on it, the vat's removed, vat knobs are out of the way, build plate is nice and clean. First step is to go to the manual leveling procedure, so you're going to press Tools, Leveling, and then the manual mode leveling, and you're going to want to hit the home button. This will home the build arm to the top, and then you want to loosen the top 3 bolts. So there's 3 bolts on the top here, and I'm just going to loosen them off about half a turn. You shouldn't need more than half a turn. You can see the plate just lowered on me. Make sure you do all 3 bolts equal amounts. Now the plate should be free to tilt and raise up and down. At this point, you can lower the plate down to the LCD by pressing the floor button. Once the build plate is all the way on the LCD, you want to make sure that this gap, this black strip at the front, is even. There is a bit of rotation on the plate, so make sure it's straight. And then you want to apply some light pressure to the top of this cap while using the longer end of the hex key and going around and tightening each bolt about 1/8 of a turn. So just a small amount on each one. You want to do small increments so that they all kind of tighten up evenly. While maintaining the pressure on the top, just a light pressure. I'm not pushing very hard at all. It's going to take about 4 to 8 passes, depending on how far you loosened it when it was at the top. You'll feel all the screws get fairly snug. And now start reaching the point where they are very hard to turn. So I'm using some good force on these, the end of the Allen key, the hex key, and I can't turn these screws any further from this side. So at this point, we're going to check the gap thickness with a piece of paper. We're going to switch to 100 microns, 100 UM on the screen here. I'm going to press the up arrow about 2 times, so we're at 200 microns or 0.2 millimeters. And then I'm going to see if the piece of paper can slide under here with little resistance. Right now it feels a little bit tight. I'm going to try another 100 microns. So now I'm at 0.3 or 300 microns. I can slide the plate under here, or I can slide the piece of paper under there. Along the back corners, you want to be checking the corners, all 4 corners. This back left corner feels a little bit high. And the front right corner feels a little tight, but I can still slide the piece of paper underneath there with just some moderate, it's a very light drag. This will be our low point. It'll be the lowest point of the plate to the LCD. This back corner is our high point. So we're going to leave this right corner alone. We're going to start with the front 2 screws. We're going to tighten the left one with the shorter end now, so we can get a little bit more leverage. And we're going to do a small amount and then check the gap again. Still feels a little bit loose there. Feels pretty good. Feels fairly even across the whole plate along the front edge. And we'll check the back corners. That also feels pretty good. Now it might feel tighter or looser in the center, depending on how the LCD and plate, since they're not perfectly flat to each other, there might be a small variation there. So you really want to just make sure the corners are good. When you're adjusting the 3 bolts for fine tuning, you never want to loosen any of them off. You only want to tighten them. So if you find one corner is too low or one side is too low, you're going to use the touchscreen and the 10 micron increment to raise it up a couple more, and then lower down the high corners by tightening the bolts. So the front 2 bolts will do the left and right. The back bolt can do the front and back tilt. Once you have it to this place where you can slide the piece of paper under all the corners and they all feel fairly equal, you want to now raise the plate up a little bit more. The vat film thickness, we got to take that into account. So the piece of paper is about 100 microns. I can get that underneath there fairly well with slight resistance. The vat film is about 150 microns. So I'm going to give this another 50 micron raise because I've already got enough gap for the piece of paper to fit under. So I'm going to switch to 10 micron increments and raise it up about 5 presses. I'm at 0.35. It might be different for you. At this point, I'm going to hit the Z equals 0 button, and you'll see the middle number change to red, and then it'll go to white once it's locked in. And you're done the leveling process. Your offset's been set, and now when the print starts, it'll lower down to this position, which should just be touching the vat film, and then the first layer will be 50 microns or whatever your layer thickness is above that. So now you can just raise the plate by hitting the home button. You can reinstall your vat. You can make sure you get it all clamped in place, and you're ready to go.